Hey guys, R.I.P here, and I'm showing you my favorite combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! These are still my favorite combos, and I still might not be able to use these, obviously, like towers and stuff, but I'm going to show you my favorite combos. Now, let's get two things out of the way. Yes, some of these cards are still main cards that people play as a main engine, and you people probably won't think of them as combos because they're probably not You're probably going to think they're not combos because people use these cards as their main engine. But I think they're combos because this is what I use as in my combos. So please don't disagree. Just let your own opinions be. And if they're really that important, then yes, you can put them in the comment section below. I don't care. But basically, let's just get through this over with this video already because you guys are probably just excited of what my favorite combos are. Because I'm excited to tell you guys. Okay, so first off, let's start with Fluffle Wings and Toy Vendor. Basically, with this card, you get to draw a card by targeting a Fluffle monster in your graveyard, banishing it, draw a card. And basically, then you can send a Toy Vendor you control to the graveyard to draw another card. Okay, and all you need is to be Toy Vendor on face up on the field and one other Fluffle monster in your graveyard. So basically, you get to draw one card for banishing, send to draw a card, and then with Toy Vendor's effect, you get to add any Fluffle or Agent Sabers from your deck to your hand. So essentially, you're drawing two cards and adding, with only using one card effect and one card face up on the field, which is pretty much broken in my case, because Fluffles are already broken with their pop, 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 and with their high beater attack monsters. So yeah, it's basically really good. Let's go on to one of my favorites, Maxi and Shared Ride. Oh my god, I remember this and I still use it to this very day. Basically, any deck that special summons or adds cards at the same time, this combo is just broken as hell because you get to draw a card for each card that they add, and you get to draw a card for each card they special summon. Sorry, I was about to say normal summon, that would have been more broken, but still, for each card they special summon, and for each card they add to their hand, you get to draw a card. So essentially, you're drawing a hell ton of cards if they're playing one of the stuff like Pepe or something like that. Because basically, you can use Shared Ride and then be like Maxi, and they'll be like, oh, well, if I do all this special summoning and adding to my hand, and if I can't kill him this turn, then basically I lose next turn because he has such a big hand, and it forces them to play Yu-Gi-Oh! The way they don't want to play, where they basically just don't do anything in the end of the turn. Which, that's still fine, because if you're playing something like Monarchs, then you just basically kill them next turn. Next one is Dieback and Yoson Village. So this is pretty much easy. Basically, you special summon Dieback with a Pendulum Summon. You target two cards on the field, you return them to the hand, and then Dieback gets back to your hand during the end phase, like all the other Senjus. But the thing why I like these two cards being together is because if you have this face up, which it's not hard to get this thing face up, basically, if you use Dieback and return two monster cards to their hand, and you have Yoson Village face up, those cards, instead of getting returned to their hand, it goes back into their deck. And by the way, yes, it stays continuous. There's no way that this can get rid of by its own effect. This just stays face up, unless if it gets destroyed and stuff like that. It just stays face up, and yeah. It's pretty much a really guaranteed time space continuous with Dieback, where you have a 3000 beer that keeps returning everything. Next, we have Towers and Avatar. Now, this was one of my favorite combos back when Cleaforts were a thing. So I would summon Towers, and then I would summon Avatar, and Avatar would be 100 more than Towers. Towers is unaffected by everything and keeps sending the monsters from the field or hand to the graveyard, while you have Avatar, where basically your opponent cannot activate spells or trap cards for 2 whole turns, and he is a 3100 beater. So pretty much guaranteed win, because you're getting rid of monsters with him, and you're making your opponent cannot activate spells and traps, making it really hard for them to get out anything. It's just super, super broken. So yeah, just keep that in mind that this was really broken. Next is Moral Tech and Artifact Sanctums. Now, everybody probably knows this combo by now. You special summon him during your opponent's turn, you get to pop a card. If this is destroyed, you get to pop a card, and if this is set card is destroyed, you get to pop a card. So basically, essentially, these two just pop cards. And there's just no way around it except for like Solemn Warning and all those other cards. But like, that's what I'm saying, is only those type of cards would negate this, because even if some people would be like, MST negates, I target artifact Sanctum. Well, that's fine, because if it gets destroyed, you still get to pop a card, and it doesn't negate, so you could just be like, MST doesn't negate, but since you still pop my card, I still get to pop a card. Which is just funny as hell. But yeah, this was one of my favorite combos back in the day. Tramplix and Scout. Now, I did play this in Cleforts, and man, was it ever broken. I didn't play with this many Tramplixes, though, but I would... Basically, what Tramplix does is you will activate Scout, pay your 800, use Tramplix, add back Scout, replace Scout, and then pay another 800 to add another card. So, essentially, you're using Scout twice, and you basically get to add twice, which is pretty much a guaranteed Pendulum Summon or a guaranteed Tribute. So it's just really good after that. Next, we have my favorite combo of probably all time is C40 with Supply Squad. Now, basically with C40, we all know probably his effect by now. When he's special summoned, you destroy all monsters with string counters, and if you do draw a card, then inflict damage to your opponent to the highest original attack among those destroyed monsters in the graveyard. Your choice of Tide. Okay, and he does have the once per turn detach. Put string counters on all your opponent's face-up monsters. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So if you destroy one of your own monsters with this effect, and you have any number of these, you get to draw one card from him and another card from any of these. It's just super broken. Because if I had 3 Supply Squads and I summon C40 and destroy your monster and one of my monsters, I get to draw 4 cards and inflict damage to you. And it's basically a good game after that, because I just drew 4 cards. Which in Gimmick Puppets, yes, that's broken, because one of those cards could be a limited removal, and that's game. So yeah, that's just one of my favorite combos. This is another favorite of my combos, which is number 33, and Mini Guts. Okay, so you tribute a monster, the target one face-up monster your opponent controls, its attack becomes 0 until the end phase. This turn, when it is destroyed by battle and sent to their graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack in the graveyard. Okay. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between its original attack and current attack. If you do, this card gains attack equal to the damage inflicted. So, essentially, 5,000 beater, that's fine. Tribute 1 monster, that thing becomes 0. Summon this, you take 5,000. This monster gains 5,000. I attack, you also take 5,000, including battle damage. Good game. So, this is basically an OTK right here. And it's just really, really funny to see this card in play. And your opponent's just like, what? Mini Guts? Really? And yeah, it's just really funny. So, let's go on with TG Hyper Librarian Formula Synchron. We should probably already know this by now, but you get to draw a card for Formula, and then you get to draw a card for TG Hyper Librarian. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you get to draw 2 cards every turn. So, yeah, it's basically essentially broken as well. Next up, another one of my favorite. My friend plays Sharks, and this is actually pretty funny. So, let's say I summon C101, but before that I would summon 101. Okay, I take one of your monsters, overlay it, use rank up, summon CO101, take one of your special summon monsters, make it an overlay unit, use Diamond Direwolf, destroy my own Silent Honor Art, special summon it back, gain 2,800, take another one of your monsters, end my turn. You just lost 3, I think, 1, 2, yeah, you lost 3 of your monsters. They're all in the graveyard now, except for one of them is on C101, and I still have a Diamond Direwolf and C101 face up on the field. And you gained 2,800 life points. That is pretty broken. And it is still basically really beast, I guess you would say, because, man, you just lost 3 of your special summon monsters to like 1 Xyz, including another one that basically granted me 2,800 life points. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys learned a few things about the combos I just liked. And these are really old combos that I used to play. So I hope you guys had a good... Hope you guys learned a few things. And that's really it. R.I.P. out.